Now it's recording, but our voices are super near the shot, and we're not. Maybe we're too far away. I'm not sure. Let me check that out.
You have to explain me. So, what is this here?
So I have 3 different horns.
Yeah.
One is for the moms in the park, which is a very gentle one. I'm sure you will do probably the same. Yeah, that's the soft one. You don't want to be too aggressive. Then I have this one, if it's, if it's a bit more fun.
The funny one?
Yeah, the funny one. And then this one for the band guys, for the ride, aggressive car. When you want to, when you have to move, it's a lot louder.
Ich wollte dir schon 10-mal Hallo sagen, aber du warst immer so beschäftigt, dass dich das nervt.
Well, we're here interviewing Benno, trying to have an interaction with Benno in the microphone. And what happened
Gut, dich
is,
zu sehen. Kommst du noch mal rein?
Wir waren eben.
Benno is the most popular
okay.
man here in town, and everyone wants to grab a little bit of Benno.
Okay,
Unbedingt.
Dann kommen wir ein bisschen später, so ein bisschen
When I
weniger
was trying
los.
to have a go with
Stellen wir uns in die Bar und trinken
interview him, I
Kaffee
was
oder
trying to find a good background
Super.
for
Cool.
the interview. So
Ja, sorry,
we
er ist
decided to do that.
hier cool, der kommt noch, guck mal, der ist Handyman, der ist
How you
ein
doing?
Handwerker mit Boost. Ja.
Nice to meet you,
Ja,
Ignacio. Hello, how you doing?
Rainer, Ignacio, du bist
Here we are.
Lorenzo, genau, sorry. Bis gleich, ciao, ciao. Sorry, we have to start again.
Don't worry. Let's move it. Let's move a little bit.
He's an architect.
He's an architect.
He's an architect.
Like my uncle, Oscar
Anyway,
Niemeyer.
so we were talking about, you want to move out closer?
I'm going to move a little bit
Yeah, a
closer.
little bit closer. Bangkok.
That's a little bit better. So we're not too far away.
You know, it's amazing the force, that has to go on that kickstand.
Yeah.
From the pa, it's amazing.
I had the standard kickstand initially, but you realize that for what I do and for the children, etc., this is really well made. I met yesterday the lady from Taiwan. They were producing the Bennos.
Yeah.
They worked with you for 30 years
Grace,
now.
yes.
Yeah, really interesting. And we were chatting away, and they know you inside out, huh? And you've been working together for a long time, right?
You started working with her father.
With what?
With her father. I was working with her father,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When
Okay.
she was little.
No way, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Todd, her husband, he was a young Canadian guy. He was an intern.
Yeah.
And I'm in the factory, and I said, "What are you doing?" He's like, he said to me, "Oh, I'm learning Chinese." Next thing you know, he marries the daughter, and
Good way to learn language.
yes, they learn language. But no, they're very sweet people. I've been doing business with them for over 25 years.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it's like a family.
Yeah, of course. So the bikes that you were designed back then for Electra,
Yeah.
right? They were also the same manufacturers were
Yeah.
the same company.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, they do a very good job. They with Electro, we did very complicated paint jobs. Very complicated.
Paint job.
Paint job.
Right.
Many, like a masking, two-tone paint job, little stickers, flowers, stuff. Nobody can do it. So we are trained these people, everybody's like, hey, you have to paint it. They go, okay. And they are getting better and better and better and better. So now their painting standard is much higher than any other factories.
Right.
Yeah.
So the paint work of the bikes is really hard wearing. A lot of people come around. I have to say, when I stop at any traffic light in London, people go, "Where is this? What is this?" It's very striking, and they go like that, and they love the hard wearing of the paint work, and
Yeah, they paint. I mean, they do good paint, but they also do beautiful stuff. Like they paint a lot of high-end road bikes and everything. With the masking. But I mean, your bike is special not because of the paint. It's special because of the way you personalize it. I mean, you build the beautiful cases and boxes and the tank plate, with a lot of love.
That's
cool.
This is when the clients don't want to pay the bill. No, they always want to pay the bill. But it's a door stopper, right?
That's so
you
good.
need an extra hand sometimes to kind of, I don't know, it's a bike that keeps you entertained. It keeps you...
Yeah, but I mean, what are you thinking? Like, so before you drive a car,
Yeah, well,
what did you do before?
I used to run the business from a van,
Yeah.
from a small MPV.
A van, okay.
right? And I have beautiful boxes in the car as well, so I make beautiful drawers with all my gear every time. But what happens is, the more space you have, the more you carry, and not necessarily you use it all, right? So you end up carrying everything every day, which there are tools and hanging about at the back of the van for more than a month, and you never touch them, you never use them. So when the idea of getting using the cargo bike, I put myself a challenge to say, okay, if there is a tool in the back of the box that it doesn't get used in 2 weeks, I store it away. I don't get rid of it completely.
Of course,
I don't put it, but I put it away. So the kit also kind of changed. You know? And well,
I mean, this is very reduced.
I have used it, man.
Like we used to say reduced to the max.
Yeah, totally.
This is very, but I mean, so everything that you need to do your job is you can carry here.
It's rare. It's rare that I need something else that I'm not carrying with me. It's a very smart kit as well. If you look at inside the boxes, it's like a doctor a little bit, you know. You have,
so
not today.
What do you have in here?
Well, in this moment.
Yeah. Oh, you have different things because you're traveling.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not carrying my power tools. I'm sorry.
Okay. I understand. But sometimes you pack it differently.
Sometimes.
So not every day you have everything, but because right now you have some camping gear.
Sure.
Like you said, not the power tools, other things, you know.
Well, I've been putting like a foldable ladder on top of the boxes.
Oh, wow.
I strap it really hard.
Yeah.
I have put like a big bunch of insulation, at the back. So you have to incorporate the client's brief onto what you're doing. So before I get a request, I have to ask a lot of questions to the client, so I know where I'm going.
You already know to bring this set of tools or this set of tools. You don't have to bring everything because you know you don't need it.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Trying to make as efficient as possible.
And when you arrive at your client's house, they expect you with the car, or they
nowadays
they know.
Well, sometimes. I send them a first email with the different things that I ask for it, and I also ask them if they have a safe parking for a cargo bike. So they expecting me on a cargo bike.
Okay.
Not everyone listens, and not everyone read everything. You
right.
know? So some people just don't know, but it can be a little bit of a deal breaker because if they don't have a really safe parking,
you cannot do it.
I don't feel in London. I don't feel like I just leaving it everywhere. You know. Unless it's a very short and brief visit. Otherwise, you are doing something, but your brain is on the bike. You know?
Because I always think theft is a very big problem.
It is.
Big objections. You know, I always say theft is one of the major 8 objections why people don't use a bike.
Yeah.
So what do you do to prevent theft?
Well, I never leave it out of sight.
Yeah.
You know, I never leave it offside. I have a massive lock. I have a D lock.
Yeah.
It's the D lock 1000 or something like that from Hip Lock. It's the best in the market, anti angle grinder attack and so on. So.
But you said you also have a tracking in here.
Yeah, I do have a tracking system from Bosch. It's the Bosch official tracking for the bike, which is inserted in the motor.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. You track it on the.
And you can see it on the GPS. You know where it is, but you cannot disable right now the motor.
You know what I did when I first had it? I put an AirTag.
Yeah.
Not in this bike, but in another Bosch motor, and the motor didn't like it. It stood to send me a error 51 because the AirTag was doing an interference with the Bosch system. I didn't know any of that. So I took that off from another bike, from another brand, a French brand, and you might like it too, Moustache.
Yeah.
So the other bike I have is a Moustache. And but on this bike I knew that, so I bought the right, the Bosch system,
right system
for.
And why did you want to buy this bike then? Like
to be totally honest, I was in between the Turn, the Moustache, and this one.
Yeah.
And I was in between the 3 of them. It took me a month to make my mind up.
Did you ride them all?
I tried them all.
Yeah.
I ride them all. And the Turn kind of flapped a little bit more. It was rattling a little bit more and in the end, the Moustache is nice because you can stand it upright because the rear rack, it has this support, right? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of plumbers and trade people in France, in Paris, they use it. But this one, I like Land Rovers, you know.
Yeah.
I do a lot of off-road miles.
Yeah.
And the 24 inches wheels it got inside me, you know. 24 inches wheels. Because let's face it, the 20 inches wheels, they're cool, they're nice. It's a little bit more, you know.
It's cool, a little more but fatter. Well, actually, the outer diameter on those wheels, because they're bigger, okay?
Yeah.
So you have a 24-inch rim, but the outer diameter is actually 25.5.
Yeah, right.
It's almost right like 26-inch, but you have a smaller wheel, more stronger. You still have a wider tire. You know, so some people say, "Oh, the wheel is small." I said, "No, it's actually the actual outer is about 25 and a half."
Yeah.
But it's funny you say Land Rover, because I always say this bike is like a Land Rover Defender.
Totally.
You know, 110. Defender 110, and then we have the 46er, right? And I say this is the Range Rover Sport.
Yeah.
You know, people, okay, you know,
Absolutely.
because to me this is the same. I love Land Rovers. I love the Defender. To me, this is that bike.
Absolutely. Totally. I have parked it beside a Land Rover. You have seen maybe a couple of pictures around, and it feels like it's an extension of the bike is an extension of the Jeep, you know, the 4x4. It's really cool. And the 20 inches wheels, it's cool, it's fun, but it's still looking like an estate car,
Yeah.
Even if it's a nice estate car, it's still looking like a mommy's car.
But I mean, when you ride it, you think it rides like a regular bike in a way, or?
Of course, yeah.
Yep.
No, it's still. This is what I like. It's still feeling, and you experience a bicycle.
Yeah.
You know, which is the most simple object that is being with humankind along the many years and crises and whatnot. You know. So yeah, it resonates a lot with me. So it's like a horse, you know. Every hero has a horse, you know.
Yes,
right?
But how many you have kilometers or miles here?
4,000 miles in a year.
4,000 miles in a year.
I use it well. I use it a lot. I ride about in between the longest round I've been done in a day is 40 miles, which with the second battery. It's okay. With the first, at the beginning, I have only one battery, so you feel a little bit like a range anxiety, you know. You don't know.
40, I mean, do you mostly ride on turbo? Or
I walk it on turbo all day, man. I'm
of course, you do. Of course, me too. Of course, I do. Everybody does, but they don't tell you. But so when you go, so load it up with 2 batteries.
Yeah. Let me have a look on this thing. Wait. Because sometimes,
it gets.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's all right. It's tracking us, you know. If we move, it will move with us. So if we move here, it's fine.
That's cool.
So you can walk around. It's tracking us. It moves, and it's fine.
That's cool. So the So when you ride 40 miles.
Yeah.
The 2 batteries is fine, no problem.
No problem. I can do 60 miles.
You can go 60 miles.
Yeah.
On turbo.
Yeah. I always think like one battery will do 30 miles in turbo.
Yeah. I always say, I'm careful. Like, you know, everybody says, you know, their bike can ride 1,000 miles.
Yes.
I always say 25. 25 to something. But if you tell me 30, then that is, you cannot have a worst case scenario than this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
No. Yeah. And off-road miles, and not flat, nice and smooth like here, right?
Yeah.
Off-road miles. I love the green lanes, you know. So the bike is bomb-proof, man.
Yeah, I mean, if sometimes you take it on fire trails and stuff like that.
Every time every opportunity they have, you know.
But it's fun. It's like a big BMX bike, right?
A
big little BMX bike. It's just fun to ride.
Definitely. I have actually taken it to a BMX track just for the joke, you know.
Just for the joke.
And I think like she would like to be a BMX track bike, you know, and she can do it. So.
But you still like the street tires, not the knobbies.
No, I have the same. No, I have the standard tires. Yeah. But I like to drift a little bit on the snow.
No, actually, the knobbies are really
chunky.
Actually, also they are pretty sticky on the street. You know?
Wait. Sometimes I think that someone had passed by and the things think that it's me, and so I follow that person. But no. If we lose ourselves in the conversation and we're not looking at it, sometimes this thing move, but it's fine now. We're there.
No, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
So
And from your perspective, you're a designer at heart, right? Because that's where you are most comfortable, and that's where I imagine, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but you are sitting down, drawing and thinking and giving a number of turns to hit a design that makes you happy, right?
I'm a very conceptual person, so I do a lot. Like, on this bike, I start with nothing, sketch paper, okay? Yeah. So I just say, I want about this long, that long, I want the rack this long, so I make a sketch, just lines, and I just measurements, and I make a stick figure bike in the computer. I don't do the 3D work, but I do.
Fuck it out. Very good. Hi, there we go again. Yeah. Sorry. Oh.
Maybe you just set it, turn it off.
Maybe I'm gonna put it straight. Yeah.
Maybe just put it straight, man. Put it straight.
So the creativity, is the creativity what it keeps you going, no?
I like to design.
Design.
I have to design.
Conceptualize.
I have to, but I like a concept. I'll always like to solve a problem or do something, and I see something that I get inspired and say, oh, I got to do this or this or this. And so sometimes, I like to work very conceptually. I like paper, I like pen, sketches, and sometimes I sketch out the bike this big, very small. But actually, at the end, sometimes when I'm finished, because everything, the real numbers, engineering, everything, sometimes I take the first sketch and I blow it up and I overlay it. Nice. And I want to see, and sometimes it's so accurate. And I think sometimes when you make a small sketch, there's a certain line or certain angle in the frame, something is very natural. Yeah. And then when you start making the real, all of a sudden you lose some dynamic, you lose this, you say, why does it not look like this? And then sometimes you have to go back to the sketch.
Correct.
And you go, oh, this one, some dynamic, the top tube may be slightly like this or like that. You go, and then you can try to put it back in there. But I believe in the sketch and the conceptual work, and and then
everything starts with a little line.
Yeah.
Like a very sort of gesture in a blank canvas. No?
I think there's people out there that can they're much better engineers, or they figure out the detail, the problem, everything. But I'm more like a tailor.
Yeah.
You come to me, I make bikes that can fit you very well. But not like a custom tailor because one size fits all, right? Yeah. But I try to make something that you will enjoy because ergonomically it will be an extension of your body.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so there's some design and some visual, but there's also a lot of thinking, like how do I want to sit? How do I want to hold my hand? Do I want to hold my hands like this?
Correct.
Or like this, or like that, or this, or that, or what angles? Like.
So you consider the human being on the rider on top of the object, right?
Many people design a bike without looking at the person, right?
Yeah.
But I believe the bike and the person together, they are the picture.
Absolutely.
The bike is a bike, it's nice, but
it's the matter, no?
But
it's
you
the
are together.
The spirit.
You're together, meaning from the visual. If you don't look good when you ride a bike because you sit weird, then the bike doesn't look good.
Totally.
And so when you ride a bike, like I sometimes sit there and I just study the way people look when they ride a bike.
Yeah,
I say, this person looks very cool. Why? How do they sit?
How they hold themselves. No?
How they hold. But this person, the seat is too low, or handlebars too far, or.
But you're proving a point, Me, I wasn't so good looking before I have this bike.
I disagree.
I
disagree, my friend.
Thank you.
Buddy. But I really enjoy the way you use it, and I like people like you that put it to the test. And I always try to explain. These bikes are not only there to carry kids.
Exactly.
Until people like you are very important that say, hey, I can do other things.
I take the kids to school every morning.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, every morning. They do like a 10 minutes school ride. Drop the children at school, go back to the garage, take the seat out, put the tools.
Oh, that's cool. So you have
every single time.
How many kids too?
5 and 7 years old.
5, and one in the child seat and one outside, or?
They're both in a seat.
They're both in a seat.
They're both in a seat. See that I made a seat because it seems like at the Croydon boys they have the bumps a little bit more fragile than other people in Europe. So the high density seats from Benno, they're a bit hard for them, or there are too many speed ramps in Croydon, whatever. So I make a seat that is a bit higher
Oh, that's nice.
and a bit high density. It's really good.
Yeah.
I can send you all the details of that if you, I don't know, want. But it's a long seat and just clamp with Velcro and it works.
And the kids like it?
The kids love it, of course. Yeah, they love it. They love it. You can sit, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, you can sit one in that direction and the other one in this direction as well? I haven't tried that yet. But usually they sit one front and one back.
Oh, that's cute. No, I mean, I don't care.
Yeah. As long as they get to
I don't care. I don't write the law. I'm like, I don't know. You do whatever you want. You know?
So what do you
Yeah, you
think
can
about this place and we are right here, right now? What do you think about the others? Do you care a lot or not so much?
You care about what?
About the other bikes or the other makers?
I think the more bikes, the better.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was saying earlier, like the introduction of the E is the most creative moment in the bike industry since the original invention of bikes. And we are on this quest right now. See, I mean, look at this.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Everybody is trying to find a two-wheeled electrical vehicle.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different idea. Some people make it look like this. Some people make it look like that. Some people. So it's an amazing time. You know, we have this moment in time where everybody has an idea.
Yeah.
And we are defining the transportation.
Absolutely.
We are defining how people will be moving in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And you know, in the sport industry, also everything is already established. This is what a mountain bike looks like. This is what. But now look,
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different.
And the materials as well. Some of
Vehicles
the
and-
wood, some of the plastic.
So it's amazing. So I look at that, and if this is what you want, that's great for me. So I don't struggle with many people making bikes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times inspiration for me. It's great. Say, wow, you know. I mean, some people they copy quite similar.
Absolutely.
That is not so nice.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, then that means you have the right idea.
Yeah.
You know, but so in general, I've been in this industry for 30 years. I know
do your thing.
a lot of bikes is a lot of bikes, and you know, if we believe in the bike industry and we want to have more people ride bikes, we need a lot of different designs.
Absolutely.
What I don't like, what I hate, is when companies make shitty bikes, and people pay a lot of money for a shitty bike. These people have a bad experience, and then they don't want to ride the bike anymore.
Yeah.
So my big thing is, I don't care what you ride, as long as you ride it.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and if people are excited about something, be excited. I just
It's nice to feel like you have like a lifetime guarantee kind of thing, or you think that you buy a bike that you last more than 10 years or 15 years, you know? Because let's face it, the initial investment for a bike, like any of these bikes, is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, right? It's still cheaper than the car, in a way. Some cars, you know? Not my car.
I think, you know, I wish that would be cheaper.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I know.
I think we could reach more people. You know, I don't like what they, you know, sometimes I think about it, you know, but the car industry has a lot of scale.
Absolutely.
And so they make a much more complex product. So relatively, the cars are relatively cheaper than the bikes. But when you own a bike, you know, you have a lot of, there's not much cost associated to own a bike.
Yeah, you buy it, that's first initial investment, and then that's it.
And then you're done.
Absolutely,
You know,
yeah,
it's different on a car. You always have things and stuff like that, you know. So you know, but I can only design the bike for me. Like, there's a lot of cool bikes. Like, I like that. You know, in the U.S. we have a lot of bikes like this with a throttle. A lot of kids ride it, you know, and I like it. But
Yeah. No, incredible. I have a lot of questions, but I think that we have chatted a lot, and it's good.
okay,
no?
yeah. What
No,
question?
I'm not done. I'm not done
Okay,
at all.
what questions do you have?
No, I was thinking, what is the country that you prefer to? What is in the horizon for Benno? Where do you want to expand the distribution of Benno? You happy in America selling bikes in California and in
You know,
Europe?
every country is totally different. From the way they understand, from the way they use bikes, from the way, it's very interesting. Like, each country is a different challenge. It's not just like, here's a bike. You know, in the US, like, you know, let's just say in the Netherlands, people are they think they know bikes.
Yeah.
So they are the toughest.
Of course.
They don't want to change.
It's like trying to sell sushi to the
They
Japanese guy.
just have their bike, and that's their bike. And you say, hey, here's a different bike. They go, oh no, this is not how we ride. In America, they don't ride bikes, so they are much more open. Hey, how about this? Oh, it's great. How about this? Oh, it's great. So they don't have the, so every country has a different challenge.
Absolutely.
In the US we have a throttle. So everybody wants to have a little bike like this,
Yeah.
and they have a throttle. And all the teenagers and the kids are on it, and they love it.
On a Benno bike.
We don't have that,
No.
but on other brands, they just go, and I'm
yeah.
like, it's great. And all these kids are not driving around in their mother's cars and being driven around, and all these minivan trips are reduced because now the kids can ride themselves. And so that's big, but here it's not big because it's not illegal.
Yeah, exactly. No. The minute you have a throttle, that is not illegal. It's not road legal anymore, right?
But in the US, and so many bikes have a throttle. The price points are cheaper, and people just expect from the e-bike not to pedal.
Yeah, exactly. A bit lazy,
But if that makes them ride it instead of getting in the car,
Sure,
okay,
why not? Yeah.
okay, fine, it's fine. So I don't want to preach,
Yeah.
but so everybody does what they want to do, and I think we are in a lot of countries that I want to be in.
Yeah.
But we have to do a better job in each country to be more specific, about the needs. So everybody has a different setup, but we are making quite an international bike, so because we sell the same product in many countries, so we have to think about that, Yeah.
Well, do you like the UK for? Do you think the UK? Where is in your list of preferences?
Because of you, number one. No,
Excellent.
I went to the UK this spring, and it's one of the first times I went to visit, actually. And I think it's a great country for. I mean, actually, when I came to London, and I got stuck in a taxi for an hour and a half, I was saying, why are we not selling more bikes here?
Yeah, exactly.
This is crazy. I mean, the UK is a good place. Of course, there's the outer.
Traffic is.
The cities are always strong. Traffic, no parking. You have the bad weather, so but. What do you do with the weather? Like, are you?
I'm waterproof myself, I'm waterproof. Me, I just get on with it. Being from South America, I am a storm rider,
Yeah, I mean, but you wear in the wintertime, you still ride with the jacket?
I got a jacket. I ride in all weather conditions. I ride with snow, with rain, with 34 degrees.
That's
I'm
great.
very resilient, I'm one of those people who will you throw them around the world and in a bike, and you can go. Yeah. No fear of the weather.
And so what changed once you started riding your bike instead of your van? What happened for you? What changed?
It was immediate happiness, It was a sense of freedom, a sense of being able to see life in a different speed, seeing a part of London that you can never get to see from a car. You cross the green lines as many times as you can, and you feel like you're winning this precious thing that is in extinction, which is time.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more fun.
And you enjoy, I mean, instead of sitting in the car and just driving, you enjoy the experience.
Look, of course, of course. There are certain days, we're not the same every day with human beings. There are days that, it will be nice to see your bum in the car and then just put the radio on and off you go.
Yeah.
But that lasts 20 minutes, If you do it every day, in a big city like London, you soon realize that what I'm doing here, I want to be from A to B, and I could do it in 20 minutes, but I am stuck in this cage with 4 wheels that takes an hour.
To prison.
A little bit.
I mean, when you ride, you have a lot more interaction with people. Like you said, they talk to you, or they roll down the window, or they, Like in your car, you never have anybody talk to you,
That's the other thing, Yeah, absolutely. There is something happening between car riders that they just are angry at each other all the time.
Yeah, you're right.
Or they ignore each other. They are one person per car and all that kind of thing. While in the bike, at times can be a bit like that, but also you need to do just that to people, and then the bubble blasts and people become human again.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's such a nice thing, And I'm riding this machine. Really, I was a lot more boring before riding this thing. No, I'm joking.
I cannot believe you were ever boring. But it's so fun how you made it kind of like such an important part of your life. You know?
It has been a really,
I think it's just a habit, right? When you every morning you get in your car, then you're so used to it. The first time you get on a bike, you feel very exposed, you feel vulnerable, and you feel like not sure, and then the second day is like the same, and then after a few days oh, this is nice, right? And then after a few weeks, you really want to do it.
Sure.
I always say it's like kind of going to the gym. You know, when you do it the first day, you're like, I don't want to go back the second day. But after 2 weeks, you say, I want to go exercise.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like that. I think these bikes you can only push. Everybody's just pushing. You cannot ride these. Everybody walks by here, they're pushing.
But the weight of that, and where you put something in that bike.
I don't know,
it looks cool, but if you're gonna buy something like this, you better have a motorbike straight away, right?
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's great.
Excellent.
I want to ride it.
You wanna ride it?
I want to ride it.
Have you feel the experience of the beast?
I want to ride it.
Go for it.
It's okay.
Yeah. such a honor.
I think.
Yeah.
I want to ride it.
Yeah. Sometimes I put here at the back. I have a box like this, but it's ice. It has ice and drinks and stuff.
That's cool.
It's great. It's a cool box.
All right.
I think you know.
I go this way. One round, huh?
I think you gotta walk for a little while until you get up there. And then,
I think let's go this way, right?
Go that way. Yeah.
Okay. I see 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I love it. It's actually surprisingly stable, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can initiate, but not. We just ride it. It's very stable.
It's incredible.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Like these bikes, when you ride them very heavy,
Yeah.
they have a certain kind of quality. You know, like it feels so solid. Like I mean, the same one with the Bosch bike in there, the orange one.
Yeah.
You know, when you ride that, it's interesting.
I think that the next thing probably I will do is to get this crankset that you mentioned the other day.
We gotta put it in. Hopefully, you know, we'll try to find one for you.
Yeah.
But you were worried I'm not gonna come back.
I'm worried. I like that. That's so very good.
You were worried I'm not coming back.
I was a bit worried. I mentioned it, but I know I can. Today, what we have here is a drone, a battery pack, and the pads that you saw on the carpet to not ruin it. But other days I have, well, always the battery pack is here because I ride a lot, so I need it. But sometimes I have a multi-tool,
Yeah.
you know, different kind of things that I need for the day, you know.
Yeah.
Or drill bits and they've been with me.
Have you ever thought about, riding like further, like,
Riding what?
like maybe not around the world, but going a longer trip or something?
I would love to.
I would love to.
I would love to.
But you don't have the time, huh?
Time is it's one of the challenge, you know. But yeah, I would love to do something like that, of course.
You know, Samuel, he drove around the world, you know.
Samuel.
Yeah, with the Land Rover.
With the Land Rover?
Defender 110.
Oh no, with what?
Defender 110, Land
No
Rover
way.
Defender. He
Wow.
drove. The Samuel, you know, the Swiss guy.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He drove around the world with a.
That is something that is a call to human spirit, right? It's something that you gotta.
He went for 3.5 years. You know.
It's a lot of time without working, yeah.
Well, it's hard and okay. He was young.
Yeah.
And he did a very small budget, and then he had to stop in Australia. He worked for 6 months, make money. But they did on no money, sleep in the car every night on the tent.
Yeah.
You know, very rough.
Yeah, that's the way when you do something like that, you gotta kind of take all of those risks, you know. But when you're young and crazy, yeah, of course. Me, I'm still crazy, but not so young now, so I have a lot of responsibility. I'm gonna send it to you. So you will tell me if you're happy with it. But so yeah, so
you're gonna cut it a little bit.
I'm
huh?
gonna cut it a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you first, so you sign it.
I love it. Oh yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay.
No. So
This is more my interview to you because I like your story. You know, it's
Nice,
great. And
yeah.
I'm a bad listener, so this time it's good for me to ask something. Get you you are excited and you're not boring. No, not boring to listen to. You know? No, I'm like, okay, shut up.
No. So what we're doing is
Did you buy this fully charged? Yeah. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a fully charged bike.
Yeah,
By the way, fully charged will be very happy to see us together. And before I left, they did a little bit of TLC on the bike, so I said them, I will mention them, I will send them hi to them. You know, they will see it. I will pin them. You know.
Hi, Ben.
Hey Ben, we are here, no, with the man, with the
Where
legend.
are you? I've been looking for you the whole show. You're
With the
not
legend.
here. Ben, the first thing I asked, where's Ben? Where's Ben? I want you to look at my boots and go, oh, it's amazing. But you know,
I don't know if I know Ben personally, but I will definitely search for him.
Yeah, search for him. He owes you. He owes you the conversation. Yeah, Spain is open. This is a movement here. This is something new. You know, and you were doing a great job too.
Totally, man.
So I'm so glad we hooked up. I'm so glad you come. You know, you take the leap of faith. We meet, and I'm happy. You know, Aki was putting this together. I said, oh, I'm so busy. Aki, no, you know, and then Aki's like, oh. This guy is amazing. He's the best. I'm like, okay, great, you know.
You need a little bit of madness to live, you know. Otherwise, it's too flat, it's too boring, and
yeah, it's very cool. I really love it.
Shall we turn it off and leave
Yep.
it, you know? And then we go for I don't know whatever. There's a
Are
party
you,
as well.
are you gonna stay tomorrow too? You gonna be here?
I will be here probably. You know what? I for this trip I plan to cycle from Heidelberg to Frankfurt. That was my original plan.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it, so if I can, I will fit that trip along from today and Sunday, at some day, maybe Saturday or Sunday, I don't know when. But I'm not gonna leave the show. I want to stay. I want to stay.
Up to you.
Yeah, of course.
I love you here. We've been good with the people. I think they like you. You run around. You do a lot of good things for us.
It feels home, you know. So it's been
Yeah.
a very nice, welcoming, very warm. This is a maker, a guy in England, and they made things out of leather, and I just stamped the Vintage Handyman logo.
It's very cool.
I've been kind of looking for parts and stuff, and if I don't find them, I make them myself, or I try to source them somehow, you know.
Yeah, what are you looking for?
This space here is incredible for design, and the shape of the sign is all your credit, of course.
It's beautiful, but you know we make one, but not out of wood.
Yeah, I know you made one.
we make one, yeah.
Well, this one is inspired in that.
Yeah.
I just made this out of wood because it's the material that...
Beautiful, but did you work with it?
It's an oak barrel.
Oh,
It's a whiskey barrel.
It is, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. No, I think your bike is a piece of art.
I can sell it to you.
So if you could, I want to take a picture. If you could do anything you want, what would you do?
One day, you will have a museum, a foundation. You will write a book. You will do something. You put this bike on that space.
That's what I want. That's what I want. No, I've been actually collecting. Like, what does it mean to you? What does it do for you?
For me, this is amazing. You know, met you. It's such a honor as well, and it's great.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you so
Encantado,
much.
compadre.
Thank you, man. Thank you for making my dream come true.
No, it's mine.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Everything's magnet.
Everything's magnet. This is for you, Thomas. It's a magnet. The hard drive parts, you know.
Oh, that's cool. And the hot dog.
Don't put it near your heart if you. No, it's very powerful. I use it to clamp stuff everywhere, you know.
So this is just and you screw them in, huh?
Yeah, you have mounts.
Oh, you are so smart. Oh, wow.
It's really hard. And the thickness of the magnet is only this big, right?
Yeah.
And it's mounted on this plate.
Yeah.
I have other ones stronger where the magnet is a lot thicker, so it's a lot more powerful. I really like that one. That one is the strongest one. So, yeah, it's a computer hard drive.
Did you find the old ones?
So I have a friend in Santiago, where I'm saying, in London. He's a metal scraper. So he picked up things from everywhere, and then he found stuff, and he gave it to me, and I take it to the garage, and I have a bunch of those like this big. Yeah, I'm going to kind of close this, and we go to the party. Yeah, there is a party, no?